welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am here to share some joy, some inspiration, some encouragement. I hope to share some blessings. And for all of you who've already blessed me with your encouragement, popping in, sharing your presence. Thank you sincerely for being a part of this. Those who are willing and enjoy participating live, a blessing to you, all of you who find your way here. At least my words are said, even if you tune in late, whatever platform and whatever date. I am filled with inspirations once again today, and I recognized again, maybe there's been a little bit of growth in the numbers. So maybe to the new visitors, blessings and thank you again to you. And for those who tune in later, blessings. Hey, I did extend a couple of invitations today again, and I am inspired with more actions for myself to take. But what I really want to share is some of this inspiration, some of this faith. And so what we've got here, for those who are new to this, that's me at the local city council. It appears back in May. And today, Make a Difference Monday. Be the change you'd like to see. And the idea really, I was considering the ideas of loyalty and honor. I was listening to some beautiful inspirations recently that reminded me of those things. So that's where my thoughts went. Find more loyalty towards creating a better future and become less loyal to the excuses, habits, patterns of the past. Let's look to see what might be accomplished each day we get to live. And brothers and sisters, we get to live again today, so congratulations. You made it. You made it all the way today, and somehow the universe brought us all here together. Come on. Station 33, do you need to be putting a timeout like a juvenile child? I was giving you some thought earlier, Tommy, and I'll drop the link here in a little bit. For those who don't know, I'm referring to our friend in the chat. It's incredible. It is incredible. Here, this actually aligns with yesterday's topic, don't be a jerk. And today I was considering this even more. Blessings to all of you who are a part of my experience. Recognize we are all examples for each other in good and bad ways. And so I was considering my life and some of the just absolute bizarre, stupid crap people have chosen to think about me. And then some of the crazy crap they've been doing against me. And I'm like, holy shit. It's really true. The punishment for not inviting God into your life when you think you got it all figured out, when you got to tell everyone what to do and how to be, when you replace God in your life and you're only loyal to yourself, God allows you to look stupid. And I was reflecting back, oh my God, I was such a fool. It's no wonder my son has memories of shame with me. I was a slob, and I'm an example. You're an example. We're all examples of life for each other, for the brilliance and uniqueness, the diversity, the glory We're all the glory of God's creation. That's where my loyalty is now. See, I used to have a loyalty to myself, who I thought I was. And I get real mad if people didn't respect what I was or who I said I was. That's not entirely true. I wasn't an arrogant prick, but boy, I sure justified yelling at people an awful lot, man. and if you notice, actually, you know what? I bet if I dropped the link, we'd find an example of that right now. I'm gonna have fun today, brothers and sisters. The misplaced loyalty is when we find ourselves only loyal to ourselves. Guess what that does? It's showing a disrespect of others, showing a lack of care. And what happens then is, because of the disrespect and the lack of care that's shown by someone who's selfish, pushes people away. But me, you know, for those who know my story, I don't seem to have a lot of actual friends that like to spend time with me. So, but that's changing. I know for a fact that's changing, because right here, here's evidence. I'm taking my time to introduce, but two wonderful guests, totally different energies and methods of communication, but both have, in a short period, have become people I trust, respect, admire, and I love. Welcome, Illumitami.
Everybody listen, because you know I don't have long to be up here because he's saying this bullshit about me. I want DJM to know her wish is going to come true. It is so obvious I will create the how Jack and his daddy are exactly the same, just different in methods. He acts like I'm not a busy motherfucker when he takes this long to drop the link. He won't stop texting me and emailing me, and neither will Sherelle. I really hate these people, and I'm going to show YouTube why they're garbage. One's got a family that won't come back. The other's got a dead lover as she sends me pictures of my apartment. You guys are all garbage. Antichrist garbage. Have fun with your stupid fake show. I'm also going to do one about Bro Logic because I'm his bully's bully, and that's your daddy that you love, Jack. Fuck you.
Tom, please calm down. Welcome, Midlife, Bro Logic, and Rose. Blessings to you.
Blessings to you, Mr. Talcott. I'm glad I could talk to you. It's too bad Illumitami couldn't maintain himself, because I needed to talk to all three of you about something. It's pressing. Illumitami came to me with an offer, which I was shocked and surprised. Of course, I want to run it by you first and see what you think. If you want to talk about this in private, we can do that. But hey, let's just do it right here, or whatever you think. Tommy wants me to interview him about you. It seems a bit odd. Of course, I don't talk about other YouTubers on my show, so it would have to be on his show, or I don't know if I can mediate between you two. I don't know what the deal is. What do you think about that? Should I just say no, politely say no, thank you?
Where do you think you could have fun doing it, even on his show or whatever? On his
I think
stream,
he'll just overtalk me, call me gay, call me stupid, cuss me out, and probably kick me off.
Not if you were interviewing him, because you do. You ask good questions, although he might not like the questions you ask.
But how would that make you feel? That's the important thing here.
Me, dude, I'm all about have fun in life, dude. Do whatever is right. As long as your heart and your intentions are pure, dude, have fun.
Okay. I will, if he still wants me to. Tommy, if you're listening, I'll do it on your show. Or maybe we could just do it right now, Tommy. I'll interview you right now, Tommy, on Jack's show. Let's do it. Or with your permission or not. Bad time?
Well, you know what? Here, it's not something I anticipated. So let me not reject it right away. As an effort of peace, because really, I'm not alone. There's many of us who care deeply about Tommy, and especially when he's happy, when he's having fun. God, that guy is just so much fun. Even when he's angry, he's fun. I won't deny him that, but I want Tommy to feel peace.
Why does Tommy not feel peace? Let's start with that. Should we just do a show about Tommy? Or what was the show topic? I'm so sorry. I don't mean to come in here and change everything.
Actually, it's a good example for those who know the story and know this group around here. It is a good example. There's many like him. What I think is funny, Tommy wants, what I understood him to say is that he's putting together a video to show how Paul and I are the same. I wish to God that Tommy could realize that he's the same as Paul and me, right? And I wish Paul could understand he's the same as Tommy and me. They both placed themselves up above me. it's been a challenge for me to accept and understand.
Oh, well, I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still confused. I did spend some time on Paul's show. I had a good time the other day. It seems like his intentions are pure. It seems like he seems very knowledgeable in that area that he speaks about. And he believes what he's doing is good. And he is trying to spread what he believes is good to the universe. Of course, I perhaps disagree with some of his methods. I think his current methods weed out all but the most fervent believers, and perhaps doesn't get other people on his side because it's just kind of confrontational and whatnot. But I could see the good in him. So there's something there. Oh, there's Tommy. He thinks I have an offer open. I can't read. This is on my phone.
It says,
forget it. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm not going to interview him. That's fine. Well, one less thing to worry about, I guess.
Yeah, he thinks I have an offer open when I told Bro Logic, forget it. He says things are available and then he takes them away and he punishes you for what he thinks.
He is a punisher.
It's you know what? It's a symptom of
What is it a symptom of?
It's a symptom of his life. It's the result of the life he's lived. And Tommy recently, yes, he came up and complained that I reached out in text. There was
wait, hold on. You have Tommy's phone number? Is that what I just heard?
I have a phone number that he texts with.
This is bizarre. Just so you know.
He doesn't make communication. He doesn't allow communication to be very simple. It's been complicated, but he's a guy I absolutely love, and our friendship became broken. And
why?
I don't. This is the path I'm living, and I watched a very a 10-minute inspiring Christian message that I shared with Tommy today. And the message in the video I shared was, through the broken will come blessings. It moved me because a lot of my relationships have become broken, but I trust I've already been blessed. Here, Tommy showed back up. Let's start there. And then I've got Stephen in the back too. Let's get
you waste my time in two ways. You wait until I'm typing, stop wasting my time to bring me the fuck up with more of your lies and narrative. Bro Logic, he knew a long time ago that me and Zetetic Warrior were in solidarity on ditching our contract cell phones and going to an app fucking phone number. And whenever he did have my number,
Synthetic Warrior? Who is this?
What?
Yeah.
No, you don't get to interview me, faggot. You're getting
He's
your
trying to
answer.
understand what you're saying, Tommy. Please.
He can't. He comes to my channel 10 times a month and says, "What is this channel? What's happening here?"
It's confusing there. And here in the present, I saw him just asking for
No,
clarification.
nothing is
And what Tommy's
confusing.
referring to
That's
is
like you
synthetic
and that
warrior.
faggot in the chat, fucking the fragile machine, the fragility machine. He plays games with CBO. When you do good, they talk that you're on top of it. When you come for them, they say you're confusing. No one gets you. And I'm going to burn this community alive. And Fragile Machine is part of that community.
I don't know who that
he wants
is.
in real bad.
Again, another character I'm unfamiliar with. The Fragile Machine.
Oh, you don't want
none.
none. You don't want to be familiar with him. He's a Canadian faggot.
Please don't worry about it. I know who he's referring to.
He said he's a faggot.
Tommy, will that make you happy? Is there anything I can do?
No, I don't think people should be faggots. I'm a Christian. I don't hate them, but they shouldn't be faggots.
Can you not get upset about it?
Not if they look good, like Blair White, and I want to marry them over Chris's wife.
I don't know those.
Tommy, wait a minute, Tommy. I heard you the other night. You hate?
Oh, you've been watching my channel? You're a bigger channel. What are you trying to plan how you're going to punch down? Here's this faggot to try and.
I'm not a bigger channel, Tommy. I beg for my subs. I have more subs, but I have less fans.
Right, and
they're just sympathy subs.
So why are you begging on my show?
Because I'm a clout chaser. I want to be a YouTuber.
You're not supposed to go to smaller shows to beg for their viewers, faggot.
But you really are a bigger show. I'm just my show is an empty show.
Ask Jack's daddy. I'm the smallest show.
Tom, what can help you feel more
Jack,
happy?
are you mad? Are you mad because I went over to Sanity's shithole of a Canadian house to wreck that fucking redneck antichrist that you wouldn't let me have added on this channel?
No.
Tommy, you did let me because you were using him as a shield.
Jack, can I ask Tommy?
My channel, I gave you a chance.
What did you want, faggot? I was there, and you wrapped up because I was intimidating you, and you wanted to protect that antichrist
faggot. Why I wrapped up. I had to leave.
Oh yeah, you said you had to go do a thing, and then you fired another one right back up.
I gave you a chance to discuss things.
You don't give me nothing because we're not in cahoots, queer bait.
Of course.
I haven't even started to swing on you, and it's going to be gloriful. I just made up a word for you, faggot. Gloriful.
You're a faggot. You're the faggot.
No. See, what was your definition of faggot?
You're not straight. On my show, you said you're not straight. You don't identify as straight.
Now, I'm going to give Jack a chance to show he knows what's going on. Jack, what is he talking about when he says that I said I'm a faggot?
I know what he's talking about, Jack.
Okay, let Bro Life answer because I know Jack won't get it. Go ahead, Bro Life.
It's pretty obvious, this whole Christianity thing. It's pretty obvious that you honestly like male genitalia.
Never mind.
Because you confess that you want to have relations with Blair White. I don't know if you know who Blair White is or not, Mr. Talcott, but she is a transgender woman, and I hope you know what that means, who's also a conservative, which kind of blows your mind. But Tommy confessed he's lusting after male genitalia. It seems odd
that you want to show you're a man. My bit is the trend. Listen. For a long time, Insanity Machine. This is just a glimpse. Sanity Machine. This is just a glimpse into how stupid I'm gonna make you look on season of this content. It has long time. Are you gonna have a back and forth, faggot?
You're the antichrist.
Jack, can I have a moment? Jack, can I have a moment, please?
No, nobody gets a moment.
Jack, I need to ask you a question, Jack.
Try to take over every show.
Jack, please.
Yeah. Me or Tommy, you want to?
You, Mr. Talcott. I'm going to have to go, but honestly, I have one question I want to ask you. It's coming up, and maybe there's something to it, and it's maybe kind of directed at you. So get ready. I see that how do you address the fact that a lot of your fans are haters, and people are like, people will say, Jack just likes it, he invites it. Like, how do you respond to that?
Well, I understand the appearances of the things that I do, but for those who can trust my good intentions, you can understand. This was actually a good, I mean, kind of in line with what you're saying. This format, which we know you've questioned many times, whether it makes sense to continue, is just feeding into the trap of inaction for you and this community, not a community. That is true. I will not deny that. And I've been questioning myself, what is the best path for me? Even today, I took a risk knowing there was a chance and a probability Tommy would show up fired up. But I also know that the best way to repair relationships is through communication. And I have hopes every single day. I really do. Here, to tie it to the topic, misplaced loyalty. What inspired this topic was I was listening to a pastor talking about honor and his past, and being in the barber shop as a young kid and wanting to talk about God, and the barber tells him, no, and here we don't talk about politics, economics, and religion. And that's something that's pretty common in the world. A lot of people, families break up over politics, economics, and religion. Why? They've placed their loyalty into the politics, into the religion, into whatever it is, and that became their identity. And that identity has been used as an excuse to judge others, to maybe take advantage of people. If the money's right, why not? You can get away with it, why not? We live in a backwards world.
I mean, that is a great answer, Mr. Talcott. I certainly appreciate it. Keep up the strong work. Just remember that your show makes my day, at least at a bare minimum, a little bit better. And I appreciate that. Peace and blessings to you all. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye. I want to say that Jack gives second chances. He's a forgiving man of God. I think that's part of what I understand here, why he's having people up again and giving Tommy more chances, because he's forgiving of the day before if there's rage. And he's a man of God, and he's trying to lead by example, I think.
He's trying to turn the other cheek, and I actually commend him, because I'm not like so bold or strong to do that. Like, for instance, Snafu, I won't talk to him again. I've cut him off completely. I blocked his phone number. I blocked him on StreamYard, blocked, everything. I mean,
Oh, you have a
I
channel, Moose? I've never been on your channel. You've got a panel channel?
It's, I'm usually just like a sidekick on the panels, but every once in a while I host my own show, and then, people like Jack Talcott might jump in because they feel sorry for me. Denizen comes over, bumps the numbers up, Hey, at least I'm humble enough to admit it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I commend your being humble.
Here, I wanted to I want to get to this comment, but I also wanted to recognize Midlife Bro Logic and my absent-mindedness, my lack of attention to others. He said he was stepping out, and I didn't even pay attention to why. And then I went on, and he waited patiently. He's showing himself to be a gentleman, in my opinion, and maybe it's just the way that it appeared to me, but there's a reason. There is a greater reason. All of us are alive today, and where we are and who we are. And I've been learning to enjoy it. And the best way I can enjoy life, honestly, it's to invite God to take control. I got a lot of prayers, and I got a lot of dreams, and a lot of things I've imagined myself achieving. But, there's something amazing and miraculous about timing, and God truly is a mystery. It's something that in my current practice, I'm encouraging you. Invite God into your ideas, into your thoughts more, because that's really where the answers come from. And Joseph, I can offer you an opinion from my experience. Why ought I not judge people? There's no denial on what you offer. People can tear your life apart. People can destroy you, your reputation, your career, your family, physically. Others can hurt you bad, permanently. Why should we not judge them? Well, for those who call themselves followers of Jesus, believers of Jesus, followers of Christ, he hung on the cross as the example. And in that state of pain, and at the end, offering and seeking, asking for forgiveness. Forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. And the logical explanation of why not to judge, why not to prematurely form an opinion. Once we judge, once we find a definition, an explanation, the monkey mind wants to keep going. So that opinion is placed into the mind, and then through patterns, it can get repeated. And what is untrue can become true for the individual. Margot is a perfect here. And the point is, once we judge, once we form an opinion, our minds are pretty closed. And if people, this ties into the chat, into the title, if people identify and they're loyal to their judgment, to their opinion, to their excuses, well, they're closed-minded. And closed-minded people stunt their own growth and development. And this is what I realized. To have an open mind, one must be humble, perhaps even patient for the answers you seek in the moment to be found. But why not judge people? It feels better to accept the life you've been given, even during the pain, especially if you make it past the pain. Carrying the thoughts of hate and revenge, or these patterns of avoidance, people, when people don't think, they're really actually pretty stupid. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
And it's actually the thinking, it's their thoughts that make them look stupid. Not thinking thoughts through, not being reflective. People are so busy casting around their judgment, blaming, making excuses, arguing about opinions. I've done all of this stuff, but these are the patterns I worked on overcoming in myself. And I really do. I want to help the world overcome the belief in limitations, the belief in excuses, the loyalty to lies. People are loyal to the lies of politics, to the lies of economics. And people fall in love with the lies they find from some of the religions, some of the religious interpretations. They allow a lot of excuses, right? And here's truly, here, not to keep going on and on, but for me, later today, I'm still seeking to find anyone in Spokane who's willing to investigate what God is doing with me, what I am doing. So today I tried emailing some members from Veterans for Peace, and my idea is to go to the city council again, sign up to speak at the open forum, and just have a simple invitation as people to people. They know people by their positions, even in the city council. They've got connections to people that I don't. And if we go people to people, person to person, we can find a way to get these realities in front of the people in the United States government and the UN. These wars can end peacefully, immediately, even if we get the right ideas to the right people and give them the right reasons. The reason is when we treat each other poorly, the things we say, they're out there. Once we say and do things, they can only be forgiven, not forgotten. And the confused mind likes to have selective memory. And the world we're raised in, there's been battles for our attention. Why? Because if these corporations, the medias can get our attention, well, then they can get our emotions, through loyalty, through attachment. Stephen, we're here to change the world. I'm inspired.
Yes. Amen. I like how you began this show today when you said you're talking about the glory and the glory of God. Even just that thought is so comforting, and it brings you peace to think the glory of God. Just the glory of God is such a powerful message, brother. I mean, it's simple but profound and powerful. It's very potent, very potent. Glory of God.
It truly is. These are words I would have never thought of saying. I mean, how can you be in glory of God? Don't you see the way the world is? And at the time, I was miserable, overweight, alcoholic. There's like no way I could sing a glory of God. It wouldn't let me die.
Yeah. But the glory of God is it's something that it almost hits me like a lightning bolt in a way. It's peaceful, but it's also energizing. It's vivifying to think of the glory of God, it's glorious, the power that God has even in his name. If you know what I'm saying. It just makes you want to stand up and not be lazy and lay down and give in to evil. It makes you want to stand up and say, I'm a soldier of God. The glory of God makes one want to fight for what's good and what's right in this realm against what's wrong in this place. We can't just be complacent and placid and just allow this realm, the evil here, to walk all over us. We have to end these wars and oppose evil openly, stand up and speak up and not be quiet about this stuff.
Exactly. It's time for good people to do more. It truly is. And there's an energetic shift happening on Earth all around the world right now, and it's through many, many, many different ways. It's the way time works. Time works in many, many different ways. We're just each variables of time here at this time together. And I can't remember the exact thoughts I was having, but the thought I was considering was along the lines of that verse from the scripture. No one knows the day nor the hour except the Father.
Yes.
Well, if the Father works through us, and I truly trust the example from the Bible and Jesus is that God loves us, God's forgiven, God accepts us and celebrates us just the way that we are. But the prayer is that we all become more like, well, more authentic, more pure, more in line with that which is divine.
Yes.
That's
You
what
know,
I've been.
God does love us. Sorry for
Please,
interrupting. God
no,
really does love us. That's something that some of us, it takes us a while to realize, or we might fall away from God or the church. I grew up going to Bible school. My mom sent me in the summers with my siblings, and there was a song there. We'd get like a drink, like Kool-Aid and a little cookie or something at recess, or we'd have to go there so many times a week. But there was that song, Jesus loves me, yes I know, and the Bible tells me so. And we'd sing that song. And I still remember it. I mean, I remember that all these decades later, from when I was just this little boy, before I was even in kindergarten, we sang that song at the little Bible school in the summertime. And that somebody triggered me in the, well, they not in a bad way, but they said that they like when I sing, our God is an awesome God. Sometimes I'm walking along and I'll close my eyes on a trail walking in the woods, because I've been walking through these trails a lot more lately, taking nature walks, trying to get back to nature, get back to God, and in the dirt, like ground myself to what's real rather than a lot of the electronic bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit in this realm people get wrapped up in, but our God is an awesome God. I mean, you look at these trees, man, these great big trees. Our God is an awesome God to grow these huge forests that we stand there as a human being and look up, and there's trees hundreds of feet maybe above us, and it is awesome. Nature's awesome, and it's glorious. Our God is an awesome God, and that song is one that, it's a simple one, but it's a powerful, just like God is glory. God is glory. It can be a powerful statement. It doesn't have to be so complicated. We don't have to, what I'm getting at is we don't have to memorize the entire Bible. We don't have to know every gospel by memory. Nobody can do that. For the whole, I don't think anybody can do it, but
I
why
wouldn't be.
should we have to have it all memorized?
We don't.
It's simple, right,
It's,
brother?
yes. Sorry for the excuse me. Sorry for the interruption. Yes, that's what I've learned. God is simple. When we get our negative, doubting, all the crap in the mind, when we get that out of the way, God is pretty simple. And our lives can become so much more simple when we start working together. And this is kind of where this misplaced loyalty, the ego within us, the way we're designed, it's sneaky, man. It is sneaky. I was reviewing myself closely early again today, evaluating where's my loyalty? What are my habits, right? What does the facts show apparently I'm loyal to? Well, today I got off the couch a little more and got some more exercise in because I've been loyal to massage enough, and now it's time to change my loyalty.
Yeah, yeah. If we're
And
loyal to God, we can develop our body and our spirit and our love and our loyalty, right? I mean, we through God, all things are possible.
miracles
Yes, miracles are possible.
happen.
You're right. Yes.
And honestly, I define, there's many definitions for miracles, and I realize that. And but I'm counting on some miracles very, very soon. I will hopefully the right words can be received today by whomever, someone in a dark place. the reminder to reevaluate. Where's my loyalty at? Do we have a loyalty to problems? Here, I don't know if I pointed it out, but the most common breaking issue between relationships, well, besides betrayal and dishonesty, is politics, economics, and religion. Well, politics, every method of politics, every method of economics, every method of religion came from the past. People have become enslaved to the past. The past was slavery.
Yes.
Let's break the patterns of the past and realize what I do, my loyalty is to the future.
Yes.
The past is over. I celebrate the
Break
day.
the chains
moment.
to the past, right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Break those chains.
There's
And
a
at first,
Fleetwood Mac song, I think, about that. Have you ever heard that one?
I'm
It's
not
about
sure.
it's I think it might be called Break the Chains. But it's a good song, but I think it relates to this. Sometimes God can bring these messages through musicians and through artists. God can inspire to sing about these things that are powerful truths, messages in music, even in lyrics, the songs. And if we kind of pay attention, it just comes through. The Holy Spirit comes through.
Well, spirits come through. I mean, that was one of the tactics directed at the urban youth, the black population in the urban areas. Gangster rap and all that, promoted by wealthy rich guys, you know. And the idea is you corrupt people, what people are consuming, they become. And so you feed generations these ideas that, you know, their only way to rise is to obey or to go along, to get along. You know, generations of people have been taught based on economic patterns, based on whatever. There's a lot of unworthiness that people have accustomed themselves to. And as an American, look how low the damn standards have dropped in the political realm alone. Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I'm going to keep saying this until I get to speak to those guys. They're not acceptable candidates. And anyone who's arguing about them is confused.
Yes. We're in a realm of confused people. There's a lot of confused people in this place, and they're totally unacceptable. Those two clowns, that puppets that people are lining up to support. It's really foolishness, isn't it? It's just, you know, the foolish nature of this whole system. It's corrupt and it's stupid. It's not just, it's stupid. It's really stupid. It's stupid. It needs to end.
Man, this is what I'm real. This is where my thought came earlier. Here, let me get to Frank. Regarding the ridiculousness of what we see. Just Frank. And I do a really good Jack Talcott impression when I'm drunk, so I started drinking a lot. You're my hero. Dude. Actually, there are some of the friends who don't communicate with me anymore. They've chosen to ignore me. They've got video of me drunk and passed out. I was a mellow drunk. And I was funny too. I was funny and mellow, but it's where I got my courage and confidence from, because my mind had been convinced all this negative nonsense I picked up for myself.
You know, the only times that Don't Judge Me's come on my show has been when she's drunk or stoned on weed. I think it gives her courage to drink wine in her laundry room, and then she shows up kind of drunk and she says, "I'm in the laundry room," and I'm like, "I know what that means. You've been drinking some wine and smoking some weed or something in your laundry room." You
know, Life is an experience. I don't judge. I don't judge. You know, I don't judge. Don't judge me for sure. I love her. A lot of
I
people
think
love her.
she just wants to come on to flirt with me when she's stoned and drunk. That's what I think. She's sneaking away into her laundry room. She
She's
couldn't possibly be doing laundry at 1 a.m. every night. Come on, nobody's up that late doing laundry every night.
Dude.
How many panties can she wash? I mean, come on.
Anyway, all right.
Oh, sorry.
Hey,
let's get back
on this. Yes, Jeff Bridges. I've seen that. He does do in The Big Lebowski. He does a good Jack Talcott impression.
Jeff Bridges, Big Lebowski. Oh my goodness.
See, life is fun. Life can be fun when we have fun. And it's easiest to have fun when we let go of our hate and our disagreements. All those things are found in our mind.
Can't we all just love each other and just try to get along and have
It's gonna happen.
fellowship and not fight all the time, yell over each other and stuff? It gives people a headache, you know. Like it's worse than one of those, what is it, an ice cream headache where you get the brain freeze. You ever had that before? You have really cold ice cream right out of the freezer, and all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I got a brain freeze. Real cold ice cream. It's worse than that when somebody's yelling at you over YouTube and they're just yelling for hours. I had my headphones on one day. I took them off and said, "Oh, I got a headache now." I didn't even realize it until I took off my headphones. But there was so much yelling. You know, I just don't like the yelling. I prefer the calm and peaceful and soothing and the loving conversations. Let's have fellowship, brothers and sisters. We could all exchange our ideas, but not get too violent with it. I don't like the violence and the headache stuff, the headache inducing yelling, you know. I won't mention any names. I'm not going to mention anybody by names, but there are a couple that they really seem to enjoy yelling for hours. I don't know how they even do that. I don't understand, but I hope they find
They're
their
not
way.
here. They're not here though.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone seems to be having a good time today, though, watching the show in the chat room. And peace to everybody that's here today. I want to say peace be upon you to everyone here. This has been nice and relaxed today, and very productive and helpful, I think.
Well,
peaceful. It feels peaceful
it's not
today.
done.
Sorry, Jack, what did you say?
I was trying to say it's not done. We can still get more done. I mean, I got a couple more notes here too, but my mind did drift while you were.
My voice does that to people sometimes. It lulls them.
Well, it was kind of a drift away from what I was hoping to do, so I allowed myself to drift, and I'm trying to wonder, what am I going to say to the people at City Council? I mean, I'm inviting people to wake up and let's do something.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you could open with that, with the invitation to people to wake up and to really take in your words, and kind of start off by saying that you pray that people will really listen with their heart and their spirit, that you're inviting them to wake up to realize all of this could be changed if we want to change it, if we want to change this.
But this is the thing. I can only present the truth. I got no control over what anyone thinks, hears. Very few people ask me questions about what I say, you know, for like further development or anyway, or application.
God works in mysterious ways, though. Maybe something will resonate when you speak to the council, and people will wake up or start standing up and saying, "Hey, what is your plan? Like, what do we do, or
We
how can
figure
we
it
help?"
out on the way. We stop talking about it and we
Mhm.
actually do something. Who can we
Yeah,
call? Who can we call that might, be encouraged? Hey, it is the time. We don't need to wait around for other people. It's time for us to get involved
yes,
in what's going on around the world. The criminality of what's been going on right in front of everyone's faces. I mean, how many YouTube channels are just talking about the problems and yelling at everybody for not understanding, not knowing what they know?
hmm
Mark
what I meant
Passio.
was maybe
all
people at the council meeting in the audience will come up to you after speaking and say, "Hey, Jack, I'm so and so," and introduce themselves and say that they want to get involved. Like maybe it will really hit people in their hearts if they
Stephen,
open their heart, you know, and listen.
Stephen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's my prayer. I've
Yes,
been praying for a long time. God, when will you allow my phone to ring? When will I receive any invitations, any offers? Stephen, I'm here online 7 days a week, making
hmm
the same invitation. Does anyone want to work with me towards ending wars? I mean, a lot of people have said they will, and then they don't, and then they find reasons to avoid me. And then there's others who want to focus on this. This is sitting around. Unless we're sitting around talking to the officials in government,
yes,
people willing to do what it takes to end these wars,
yes.
what are
I've
we
been trying to
doing?
get some contact numbers through Christian hackers that say that they are looking into helping because they're activists. They want to help end wars. So if I could get contact information, I would pass it along to Jack that way because I don't know any other way to really get direct access to these world leaders, these
I
people.
do. I do.
How?
No one's been willing to try my ways yet. That's what's so funny. And I assume that's what God is waiting for too, is for people to try God's way. When people try God's way, we'll find a way and we'll end wars. We'll unite together, because that was the message from the religions, was to grow in peace. And the distortions created the divisions, but we're here to unite. That was the true message of Jesus the Christ. We're here to love one another. And I love you, Stephen, everyone who joins the panel. I love everyone who joins the chat. I love those who tune in whenever and whatever ways they do. But I don't know what God wants from me. I'm flying blind like everyone else, but the idea of, well, God's allowed me to learn what I have for a reason, and I feel what I've learned could be very helpful for the world if somehow we found a way to get it in front of citizens of Congress. Because they actually do. If they did what was right and honorable, if the people in Congress, instead of having their loyalty to just those who look out for them, you know, the donors, the voters, the lobbyists, whatever excuse they find to keep themselves separate from the others. Well, if the citizens in Congress changed their loyalty, the whole world could live a better life.
hmm Yeah.
I'd like to help them do it. I believe God has created me. I've been saying this since 2018. People haven't been taking me seriously and they haven't understood me. But I trust that this live without fear, right? It's true. You can live, we can all live without fear, especially when we're not caught up in our heads and looping in memories and stuff. We can create a world that's safe for everyone. All we got to do is unite and do something. But I don't know what God's got planned. I don't know when hearts will change. I don't know when minds will open. But I do see a lot of ways, Stephen, swear to God, from the people in my past since 2018, if I could speak to the people I know through the people they know, I could easily speak to a bunch of people from Congress, more than one. I could easily speak to probably Donald Trump and probably, if not Joe Biden, one of his handlers, very easily, very quickly. But we live in a world where people don't seem to care to understand before they, interrupt themselves and find opinions.
It would probably be better to speak with one of Biden's handlers than him because he seems out of touch. I don't know if he's really running anything at this point. It seems like maybe he's just propped up as a figurehead and others are kind of running things.
Right. So why are we not doing something to correct it? I mean, every nation is enabling this nonsense. The banking dynasties, this deception in the media. The corruption is continuing in the governments and corporations because it's been enabled. People aren't doing what they can to fix it. But here, you know what? Let me get out of my head, back in my heart. We have another guest that arrived. And it is a new day. And I know that when we unite together we rise. Welcome back.
Hey, I just had one quick question. I thought it was pretty straightforward. Maybe a stupid question, and then I'll hop off and appreciate the time. Out of your list of people to contact, how many, if any, have you emailed? And I appreciate it. I'll come up with more ideas if I need to.
Well, here. I've emailed many. I've tried social media. I've tried phone numbers, depending on different people. I've sent letters. Certified mail, express mail. I've done much on my own. I'd really like to see what we can do for the future. Because I trust. Well, here, actually, there was a thought I had for people like Margot and Paul, and even Tommy, these people who've just found such anger and vitriol against me for so long. They're confused. They love me. I know they do.
Yes.
I brought them up for a reason. I forgot. Oh. Hey, one of the ideas I realized, considering who we are, and if you'll, sorry, this changing the subject, Stephen, but what I feel I'm doing each day on these live streams, it's sharing the new inspirations, the new ideas I have, with the hopes that someone finds them of value. And at the same time, it's a record of me. My life is, I'm sharing what's happening in my life, and it's kind of documenting my growth. And one of the thoughts I had earlier is eventually things in my life are going to change. And when I'm no longer unsupported in this town I live in, when I'm no longer ignored by the people who have no reasons to avoid me, well, there's going to be so much evidence. Eventually, here's the point. Eventually, people are going to go back and see what has been shared. And there's so many people who join these panels with me who clearly do not listen to the messages, the monologues I offer. And so eventually others see it. Others see the value and see me, and they see the nonsense that I've been getting to experience. But eventually others will go back and look, and these people that want to just disrespect me and mock me and argue against me. I said earlier in this stream, God allows people to be stupid.
Yes. Yes, he does. God gives us free will, so people can act stupid and make mistakes and say dumb things and, act the fool and all that kind of stuff and yell. Someone can yell their head off if, all that kind of thing. But is Brown's Boy a longtime fan of this channel? He seems to have little faith. Oh, ye of little faith comes to mind. I'm not being judgmental. I just wonder how long he's been listening to the message here.
I don't know what he's actually allowed himself to hear. He's been present on the panels, and he's been around for a while, quite a while. Not just here, but other panels that are offering a lot of wisdom. He's been a disruption for me, a test of my patience. And I know people have fun. They have fun with their egoic interruptions and stuff, but I realize I accept my part. I accept fully my part. Coming into this online realm, I was naive and unaware. I thought things would be different, that people would be honest and authentic, but oh man, that's not real. People are not honest, they're not authentic. And
yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? It can be kind of disheartening, but has Bex ever been up on your panel, or Don't Judge Me, or some of the ladies?
I want to say, man, I won't come around here anymore.
What?
I don't want to come around here, because if I come up with like an honest question, like who have you emailed, or like how many, and you want to just kind of sidetrack and then say,
well,
people who have been here for a long time, supporting you, listening to your message, who have been here, listening to you.
Can we discuss
their time here?
Just going to complain?
Of course, once I get my sentence out. No, go ahead, be rude. I'll allow you to be rude in your house. Go for it. No, dude, listen, all right? Just do what you do. Just do what you do, man. You're doing great. You're doing great with all that evidence and all that backed up stuff you got. You're doing great, dude. What's wrong? You're doing great.
Can I participate in your conversation? Because I guess not. Well, I was trying to get back to, he asked me a question. I answered the question. There's no acknowledgement. There was no explanation of why he was asking, what relevance there was. And he demonstrated the exact behavior that I was describing. It's an agent of chaos.
It's ego. I think there's a lot of ego and anger underneath, and it just quickly rises to the surface if anybody even says something. They get all up in their ego and puff their chest out and how dare you question or ask about that kind of thing, where they just want to fight. They just raring to fight.
It is. It's the devil inside. And
and I don't mean Brown's Boy directly. Sorry, I don't mean him individually. I mean in general is what I'm speaking about here. It's people. There's a lot of people on the internet like that.
There's many, especially in my experience. But here, I'm going to use Brown's Boy directly, since God brought him into our experience, and he's choosing to reveal his own character. So the devil is the agent of chaos, the antichrist, that which denies to share, refuses to share the Christ. So the Christ is accepting. I've been very accepting, very forgiving. Now, I pointed out politely that Brown's Boy has been playing the agent of chaos, which is the ego. which again, like I said, God allows the people to be stupid. I'm trying to help Brown's boy overcome his stupidity, but he wants to keep playing the role of the devil, not only an agent of chaos to disrupt kindness and love and truth from being shared. He wants to continue playing the role of the opposer, of the accuser, becoming a false witness based on things he thinks without regard with what is true. So, and now he wants to continue his juvenile games, offering veiled threats. Keep going, little boy. Okay, Brown's boy. Keep showing yourself to be a fool. Eventually, when you throw your tantrum long enough and you get the anger through and you go back and look at yourself and you ask yourself, why did I get offended by what is clearly true? Well, Brown's boy, then you'll know. Are you going to get me? Are you going to get me? Feel free. Come on up, man. Come on up and tell me what you're going to do.
It's really a clear choice, though, isn't it? Between ego and the devil, or God and love and peace and truth. And he's choosing right now. I'm not saying he will forever. He can choose otherwise. He could change. He could change if he wanted to, right? Like Brown's boy, you don't have to keep doing this, man. You could make a change and stand with Jack against evil rather than playing on the side of the devil. You're on the side of the devil right now. I agree. But you don't have to stay there. You can change.
He doesn't care. But this is, again, I don't judge him, but I'm not going to sit here and play this stupid game with him where, like, and there's been many others. I was rude and impatient with 5-speed yesterday. Brown's boy, and I've witnessed many others, they feel that they're superior to me in knowledge. They've already heard everything I've got to say. And it's absolutely nonsense. Emily, please, I'm not trying to pick on Brown's boy here, and let me change so it's clear. Brown's boy, I know you can do better. I trust in you. I have faith in you. I know that we can get along as soon as you find some humility instead of your arrogance at me.
Yes. I was just about to say that. I have faith that he can change. I really do. I agree. Everyone can, and it's up to him. He could just set the ego aside today, and he could change today if he wanted to. It's that easy. It's a choice.
Well, and here the other thing, people, dude, he's projecting his piss poor behavior all over me, throwing a temper tantrum, throwing threats. What's your address? Being a real clown.
Egoic emotions, I think, right? He's kind of gotten triggered.
Here, El Paro doesn't understand humility either. Not like I do, brother. So what I'm offering is, we live in a world of confusion where people are loyal to their old identities. And what happens is people's memories, their habits of memories and thoughts keep them from being aware of what is really happening here in the present moments. And this is what I'm trying to get at. For those who've been tuning in for a while, and, no shame. I mean, I know God's doing everything. It's God who allows the idea, but I've been trying to remind people and invite that, an end of wars and an end of the banking systems, the corruption at least, while it may sound unbelievable, if I can get some support, well, maybe I can at least see if we can do it. And if we can accomplish those things, ending wars and confronting the corruption together, well, it's going to benefit everyone. And I know if people actually allowed themselves to trust me and learn and understand and join me, the world will drastically improve. Why? Because whoever joins me will clearly we'll have conversations about God, inspirations, ideas we can work together, goals, we'll have clear purpose, we'll have shared understandings. And this is what's been so frustrating about this for me. I know for a fact we are all the same. I don't give a damn about the color, the border, the religion, none of that nonsense, even gender. I don't give a damn. We're all the same. We are all conceptually the same. We all possess the same potential of pattern recognition. We all have the ability within us for pattern recognition ability and for versus confusion. The confused mind overthinks, or it doesn't think enough. It spends time on thoughts that aren't productive. Hey, welcome back, Hecklebus. Sorry,
Hello,
Stephen.
Hecklebus. Hello, Hecklebus. When you said we're all the same, Jack, I'm just trying to visualize like that the way God said that in the Bible that we were created, I think, out of dirt and breathed air into us. Would it be like, like Christmas cookies where they use the cookie cutter for like a star shape or something? Well, I'm serious. Like, did he make us like kind of like we're all the same, but we're from God? We're all cookie dough instead of dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like a comparison like that, cookie cutter, like not dirt, but not cookie dough is what I meant to say. But
right, but the pattern, the idea of
pattern. The pattern is what
it's not quite as I actually think it is like that. It's not quite as simple of the idea of the cookie cutter because everyone is the same yet unique. There's variables to every single one. There's a difference to everything. That's why the world is so confusing.
But made out of the same stuff, right? Like you could put different food coloring on the cookies and sprinkles on one, and they don't all have sprinkles, but they're all the same stuff, the same dough or the same whatever that God made us out of, right? That's kind of what I was thinking.
Hello, were you hopping in?
Oh, he changed his name.
Wizard?
Well, first of all, greetings, everybody.
Greetings.
Stephen, you mentioned something earlier that it's impossible to memorize the Bible. I am well on my way there. Well over 3/4 of it. You can ask most of the people that know me. I know that scripture pretty fucking well. Other than that, Paul, or Jack, I didn't see any arrogance in Brown's boy. And when it comes to the communications, that's an important aspect that he's asking about. I'm sitting here with mailings getting ready to go out to U.S. Department of State, U.S. Department of Treasury, Civilian Board of Contract Appeals, U.S. Department of Commerce, U.S. Office of the Staff Judge Advocate, U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Internal Revenue Service, Directorate for Public Inquiry and Analysis at the Office of the Assistant Secretary of Public Defense and Public Affairs, Judicial Officer Department, U.S. Postal Service, United States Health and Human Services, Social Security Administration, Department of Health and Human Services, the White House, the President, of course, Office of the Attorney General of Iowa, State Treasurers, Dubuque County Courthouse, Iowa Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, U.S. Commercial Services, Iowa Department of Public Safety, Blackhawk County Sheriff, Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors, Blackhawk County Attorney, Iowa Secretary of State, Blackhawk County Clerk of Court, Iowa Department of Revenue, Blackhawk County Register, Iowa Social Security Administration, City Hall, as well as the IRS in a 3949, a 13909, and a tort claim to the governor.
What about the FDA? Are they in there?
That will be in accordance with the state's vital statistics jurisdiction. This is just a minimal list of people that I am contacting in regards to my situation. But when you look at the vital statistics jurisdiction,
Brother Whiskey, I just want to make an apology.
And And that situation applies to every last one of us defined as a United States citizen.
Is that what it says?
Exactly.
Can I just
It
say
outlines
something,
the birth
Brother
registration. It outlines the birth certificate standards that are impossible because they do not apply the standard. No one is born
Okay.
in the United
the birth
States,
certificate.
and nobody is born as a United
Keith.
States business.
Brother.
Keith, please. Today the topic is I'm encouraging people to identify their misplaced loyalty.
Yep. And that's why I'm talking about the United States citizen, and everybody pays patriotic bowing to that flag. That's a false loyalty. And
I
that's
know
because everybody's indoctrinated.
You want everyone to learn from you and do things
Nope.
your way, but
Nope. I'm
offering
just
you-
coming up. I'm just coming up and explaining that the communication is very important.
Yes.
And we both
Hey, did
agree
you
on that.
ask all those
And that-
people to end wars, to do their part to end wars? Was that part of the discussion by chance?
No, of course. I'm
No,
not sure.
no, of course
Oh.
not. It's just related to what you're focused
Oh.
on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
each one of us is a child of God. And
Right,
that is the
right.
displacement of
Okay,
loyalty.
I know you talk the talk, brother, but here's the
Okay.
thing. Can I please, brotherly, all right? This is my life. How do I offer feedback and correction from those who want to do nothing but argue and stay in denial? See, Wizard, fortunately, is another gifted man who could be a great ally, but he doesn't give a shit about me. He just wants to talk about himself and what he thinks he knows.
Do you think it's
And
ego driven in his case, Jack? Or I
Yep.
don't really know him, but
yes, it
I
is.
want to say I wasn't trying to limit his ability to memorize the Bible when he came on and said, well, he's memorized 80%.
You didn't name him.
Yeah,
You
it
just
seemed like an
mentioned-
ego
yeah,
thing, you know.
it
I'm
is.
saying for most of us, most on earth, it's impossible for most people, 99.99% to memorize the whole Bible. That was my point. I wasn't naming Wizard. I didn't know that he was attempting to memorize the Bible, but I hope that he gets beyond the ego and starts listening to Jack's message here. You know, he went way off topic with naming all these places he was sending letters to, and then Jack said, well, is it about ending the wars? And he dropped the ball on that one, you know. Like, I'm sorry, Wizard, it's, you know, you focused on making it about you, I think. You know,
That was very politely observed. Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
And
I'm
communicated.
trying to pay
well.
attention to what's going on here. Sorry. I really am. I'm trying my best, but I understand how frustrating that would be if somebody comes up like that and he just missed the point, you know. He's missing the point.
It's a missed point. And here, I timed Brown's boy out because I've given him chances. He wants to play and continue enabling poor behavior. Wizard and I can have conversations as soon as he allows himself to put his ego aside and have conversations. And Brown's boy, the same applies to you. But it's everyone has their own issue, their own whatever. I know that my path here, El Perro, I'm going to use you as an example because you just came and spoke regarding your investment of your time and mine to know the words. You came up in agreement to communication, but then you wanted to only hear yourself. Has to start somewhere, and not everyone is going to be able to start at the top. These people at local levels are taking your words. My word is, yes, let's try to find a way by position and, you know, people in different connections. See, El Perro, you're another one. You can change. I want to hear back to what I want to point out. I see many Christians today, right? Which way is it? Christians today Many people identifying themselves as Christian, lots of knowledge, book knowledge in their head, walking around condemning people and judging people, lots of anger and righteous anger, right? It's a bunch of juvenile nonsense. Okay?
Amen. It is.
Take that knowledge and bring it into your heart by taking that knowledge and apply it to you so that you know from your experience, not your thoughts, not your opinions. I see so many people, and praise God, God invites me, all these gifted people who got a lot of knowledge, and all they want to offer me is bitterness, man. This is what tells me God's with me, man, because there's a lot of people like that, offering God in the world bitterness. Why? Because God allowed them to learn some things.
You are a man of God, and that much is obvious by what you're doing day after day after day here, 7 days a week. El Pero, you could do a lot of good things in this world if you set the ego aside. I see what Jack is saying here, and I agree. I mean, you are a smart guy, but you let that ego kind of dictate your direction, and it's misguiding you. So I hope that you decide to put the ego aside.
I want everyone to put the ego aside because sincerely, number one, that's what the Bible is teaching. We're here. You know, I described what I see as a problem in a number of different ways. Misplaced loyalty. So here's what I want to encourage everyone to consider for themselves. Identify your loyalty. What are you loyal to doing? What are you loyal to being? What are you loyal to becoming? Stop being loyal to what was or what might have been. Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
By letting the ego go, you live the same life. You're still in the same body. You still may have similar or same preferences, but the distinction is when you let go of your body, your ego, you are willing to be humble and patient and forgiving and kind. And
Humble
honestly,
before God, right? Is that what you mean? Humble before God and before others?
before everyone,
Before everyone. Yes. That makes
the world.
sense. Humble before the world, that makes sense.
Well, and this was reminded by I've spoke about him before, Andy Stanley. He's an amazing speaker, and he was speaking about a similar topic recently. He suggested that play a game at work or wherever you are, play a game to see who can become the most honorable. Bring the most good into the workplace, into the house, into
Oh,
the
yeah.
family or community. Who can bring the most honor and joy? And what a great idea. If we're
Yeah.
focusing on what we can offer to others, hello, you set yourself free of the past and all the worries.
Yeah.
Hey,
That game thing makes me think that most people play games to compete out of ego, right? Oh, hi, Bex. How are you doing?
welcome.
Hello, Brother Talcott. Hello, Brother King Stephen. Nice to see you both today.
Hello, Sister Bex. Hello. Hello.
Feeling good. How are you, my friend? It's been a
I'm
while.
good.
We don't cross paths an awful lot, but
It's nice to
I see
see a
a
No, you
sister.
sister on the panel. This is great.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think the last time we spoke might have been over at Stephen's, Jack. I think it might
That
have been.
long ago?
Yeah, I'm not
Wow.
sure if we've crossed paths since.
Well, a threesome was overdue then between us.
Well, hey,
Exactly.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did
I
you
meant that
join
in a
with?
platonic way, not a sexual, not a lustful.
Of course. In a panel,
I'm a gentleman in a
Yes,
in a
of
panel
course.
threesome way.
Of course. Yes. I know you guys were talking about humility.
Mhm.
I missed a little bit as I came in, but like I don't. It's the root of humility and human are the same. Um, the root to
Yes,
those two words. So
in the words,
You
yes.
know what? Hey, that's in line. You kind of reminded me of another way I was saying it. It seems that humanity has been lost, right?
With humility,
Mhm.
both, right? They're
Ooh, ooh,
interconnected.
that's it. We lose our humanity when we withhold humility because
Yes.
pride and arrogance corrupts us. Holy shit. See, it's that simple. Wait, what did
Mhm.
you say again? What was it? It was a humility and humanity. There's a
Yeah.
connection
Connected.
there.
Yes, they're the
Well,
root
and
word.
actually, excessive pride, which is the one that's deemed the sin, is called hubris. So
Yes.
I would imagine that those different. It also starts with an HU. Um, so there may be, if we knew ancient languages and Adam, if I knew it better, we might be able to see that the suffix in hubris is actually directly opposed to the suffix of humility.
I don't know. You know, words are fascinating. Hey, I want, if I may, well, I want to see what I miss. Hi, I'm not sure which parts I seem bitter about.
I was
Um,
just going to add something about the words that Bex would add on to what Bex was saying. God
yeah,
created us, right? And God created humans, humility, and language. So, really, if there is that deeper meaning in the connections of the words human and hubris and humility, that was put there by God, then, the creator of this realm and of humans and language. So, we're kind of getting to the root of things when we look at how this was all interconnected like a spider's web. And we're on a web right now, we're on interweb, World Wide Web, and it connects with the language that we're using. So it all goes back to God. It all goes back to God, whether it's language, humility, humans, how we're expressing things, how we're understanding things. Without God, we are lost and disconnected. So the connection between these things is God. Even in the Bible, the Tower of Babel at Babylon, Babel, and then the languages, that's from God. The creation of all these languages that we have is from God directly.
right. Um, yes. Everything comes from God, but nothing may be known or lived except in the present. I wanted to come back to a couple of these chats though. Um, did God tell you that you were Jesus? No, not at all. But logic and reasoning brought me to find the similarities as a man, different mind, different knowing, different life, different experience, just like every one of you is different from me and I'm different from you. So the Bible again, it was one of the last places I did turn to, but the more I looked into the words and it spoke to my heart, and there's a God who loves us so much. And I imagine, oh, here, I think I was long-winded, but in the past I didn't identify myself as a Christian because I was turned off by many of the representations.
Me
Tommy,
too.
Snafu, so many, right? Um, I invite anyone who identifies as a Christian to please join me. Let's redefine what it means. Let's let go of the religious and start celebrating the Father and honoring the Christ that is truly present here and now.
Amen. I want to ask both Bex and Brother Jack, Sister Bex and Brother Jack, about something that I've wondered about since I've been over here on panel for the past few days. Do you think that people firing away these questions or making comments would be this way in person, or do you think it's just the anonymity of the internet and the chat where they think, oh, I can act up in a sense when they're on the chat rather than, in real life? Do you think they'd be completely different face to face, Bex, sister Bex and brother Jack? Would it be different if we were all face to face, or do you think that I'm not saying violent, I'm just saying in person, like I don't see people behaving this way that often in person, the way that they're being disrespectful and saying Jack this, he's that in the chat room. And I think it's because they're anonymous here and they kind of feel like they can get away with it, maybe. What are your thoughts, Sister Bex and Brother Jack? You still there, Bex?
I'm here. I just wasn't sure if Jack wanted to go first.
Go ahead, please.
I definitely think that there's that the anonymity allows people to not wear a mask that they might wear in the world. So I don't think they would necessarily behave that way in person, but it's not like they wouldn't be thinking that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In person. So I think it's actually in some ways more revealing to who people are.
That's a great point, actually. That's a good way of looking at it. Not good in the sense of that I applaud them for being that way, but I mean in the way that you exposed them in a sense. I think that's accurate, is what I meant to say. I think that's pretty accurate for maybe the majority on the internet, not just here in the chat, but yeah, they expose who they are more so here as anonymous than in real life. They wear the mask and they don't reveal as much. Yeah, that's interesting. Good point, Bex.
Thank you. I think sometimes. Oh, please go ahead, Jack.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because I was just going to comment, I'm honestly at a loss of what I should do. I'm still feeling kind of ignored about what I'm saying. If anyone believes that wars can end, and anyone wants to be a part of helping me be a part, or you want to be a part of ending wars, please reach out to any of the links below in the descriptions. Reach out through text or call. We can connect for any reasons. I make myself very available for others. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what Bryce is talking about. He said that, sorry for interrupting, but Bryce said that, who said that the Bible was garbage? What is he talking about? Bryce Byer. I don't think I heard anybody say that here on the panel. I'm confused sometimes reading this stuff. Who said the Bible's garbage?
His thoughts. He heard something that made him think that that's what was said. And this is what I mean. People are loyal to their confusion, especially in my life. I've tried to be polite with many people. I've tried to forewarn. I've really tried to encourage people to look at themselves. There's a reason we've all joined together. Apparently, my role in life until it changes is to face people's doubts and their disbeliefs and their insecurities. But eventually, I'm either going to change the format and start really, truly changing my methods, or I don't know what to do. Maybe I should wrap up and go give my own self some attention to help me figure out what I'm going to address and what I can offer at City Council. But
do you have a meeting tonight, Jack?
Well, I'm debating going. But again, if I can't get people here on the panel, but again, I guess in the panel, it is a different energy. People don't, they can be multitasking, doing whatever. So,
I think
yes, go ahead.
I think there's a bit of an opportunity to sort of see where the topic today, misplaced loyalty, and Stephen's question about do people behave this way? Would they behave this way without anonymity? I think that online we can see that there's sometimes misplaced loyalty can have people behave a certain way to impress their quote unquote friends, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's out there in the big world of government and business, that's bought and paid for and sealed and, and dealt with in a banker's context, right? So, I mean, I think that it's important to keep your eye on the prize, so to speak, right? Like, this isn't a failure, this panel, this opportunity to talk and see where misplaced loyalties and past misunderstandings, whether they're directly with one another or whether they're because of hearsay and slander from other people. I guess all I'm trying to say is don't give up hope, Jack. Like, it's a huge goal,
Hey,
and
Bex,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That compassionate encouragement.
I
And
echo what Bex is saying. I think this has been a success. This panel, this threesome here, we've been having a great discussion, and it's doing God's great work. It's not achieved in the 10 minutes, an hour a day. Even if people are dragging their feet and resisting. DeFreak said God and Adam spoke to each other in Hebrew. How many of you are willing to do that? Well, do we necessarily all have to learn Hebrew? I mean, these kind of things are foolish. It's just out of nowhere. It just seems like they're trying to be argumentative and just, clownish.
Thank you, Stephen. That's actually what I was reminded of with Bex. Okay. I can do a better job, and I believe I'm doing a better job. Facts will be the facts. That's what we need to go to. But I believe I'm doing a better job of accepting people for who they are. And Bex, what you said, at the very least, what happens even on the most chaotic days, people are publicly creating evidence of their character. They're revealing themselves. So the clowns and the challengers, I don't have disagreements with people. They find a lot of reasons against me, but and please, I allowed my mind to frustrate, but you both, thank you sincerely. This life is nuts. Appreciate you guys are all here.
You're welcome. I think this has been great, especially the three of us. This has been, I don't know, I'm not going to call us the Three Musketeers or something, but we're getting along very well. I mean, it just seems fun and intelligent and a good conversation, and everybody's hearing each other, which is a beautiful thing. It's a godly thing. It's actually a holy thing to really relate and listen to each other this way and try to understand.
That is a key.
I agree. And I think that for all the chaos that can happen online, it does, if you allow it to, it will teach you better discernment. And none of us are perfect,
Not even me. I agree. Would you say that this has been glorious, Bex?
I would say. I came in from a nice walk out in the sunshine, grabbing a nice cold drink, got back, chilled out a little, and joined you guys. It's been a wonderful afternoon. It's only 4:40 where I am, so still bright and sunny outside, and a nice way to start my evening. Thank you very much.
Hey, that's beautiful. I
That is
appreciate it.
beautiful. Sunshine and a walk and a talk. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah, I'd like to, because I remember bringing up miracles earlier. One of the greatest descriptions I heard before is this, right? Love is a miracle. Love truly transforms us. So apply that. Our grievances, our disagreements, our problems, they can be replaced by love. Love brings the answers. Love brings the hope. Love brings the faith. Love brings the solutions. Love is the way to live. And I know I know things can change slowly, but I also know for a fact miraculous transformations can happen in an absolute moment. And one of my prayers for a long time, I mean, I'm not complaining, but this is my fact, my honest testimony from my experience. I claim to have a lot of knowledge regarding health, trauma, transforming lives, becoming, practicing meditation, growing in inner peace, gaining clarity in future ambitions, right? I have a lot of skills and talent to share and offer as a coach. I've invested, well, I can't remember. It's been a number of years, but within a year, I think I spent over $100,000 trying to transform myself and learn for the purpose of helping others. Not one person. Not one person has truly spent a day with me to see what they could learn. Wednesday, well, I'll go to city council tonight and see if anyone has any interest in what I've got to offer. And then I'll go to Veterans for Peace on Wednesday, and I'll probably be here tomorrow. But brothers and sisters, this is God's game of life. Trust God is with this. And if you can believe God is with these ideas of ending wars and bringing light, leading the darkness into the light, that's what I'm hoping to do.
Yes. And if we're humble, I mean, if there is a passage in the Bible where it says that the earth is but God's footstool. And I think what they're getting at is that this is actually small, this place, that we think is everything and so big, but it's just God's footstool. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not as big as we kind of twisted in our minds into being. And God is way bigger and way more powerful, is what I'm getting at, than this earth, than this whole thing that we call life, right? It's God's way bigger and way more glorious.
Hey, that's one of the things that really, really helped me find peace, was actually allowing my mind to expand, to give God the credit of perfection. And I can't remember which, I think it was an Alan Watts book or something, but the description of heaven. What is heaven, the kingdom of heaven? What would that be? Well, you would be in the beatific, beautiful, glorious presence of the Almighty. Well, beatific, as I understand, if I'm remembering right, means like joyful. So you'd be in the joyful glory, delight in the presence of the Creator. When you're in heaven, it would be perfect. There would be perfect joy, perfect peace, perfect happiness. Well, those are available when we stop finding problems in the world that God created and in the life we've created for ourselves, the
A passage
characters we
comes to
become.
mind, Jack. Sorry for interrupting, but it just came into
Please.
my mind now, I think, from God. Matthew 5:48 says, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect."
What is
So
perfect?
God, our Heavenly Father. Our Heavenly
Well,
Father, its thing is perfect. So,
correct. But we the goal is to unite with the Christ, with Jesus, so that we may be one with he, as when he was one with the Father here on earth. And that's the idea. We walk with Jesus, with the Father. So we are here not only with the mind of God with us, but the heart of God. Jesus is his example, the heart of God, the Son of
yes,
God is who we
yes,
become. And we walk that way.
yes.
And I tell you what, the more I've been practicing it, you don't want to live any other way. All of this bitterness and nastiness, oh my God, it's not as fun as you think it is.
Hmm. I'd
Talking to
rather
my
walk
old
with
self.
God than walk with these devils. I don't want to walk with angry, bitter, backstabbing people. I don't know if I'll call them people, but antichrist. The ones
Yes,
that you can't trust. I'd rather walk with God and have God on my side, because God is the Heavenly Father is perfect. So
absolutely.
why would we want anything other than what's perfect? You
And this
know?
is, Stephen, it's actually simple and obvious once your mind can accept that. And this is where I was sharing recently, is that that's what I remind myself. God is present eternally. As long as I'm here in the present, perfection walks with me. It's everywhere I go. And so if I can walk with perfection, now how do you become perfected? Well, a perfected heart, perfected love. That is the way. Because we have to humble ourselves to our ignorance. But if we can perfect our love and live with the love that Jesus showed each other, willing to submit and surrender, willing to lead and teach, willing to serve and sacrifice,
Yes.
it's how we want to live. That is the way the world. I trust this is God's plan, is that this day will come soon where the gospel is received, where it's truly realized and understood. And more people, particularly those with the knowledge in their mind, the Christians, more and more people will start living differently than the politics and the economics and the old traditions of the religion. We start standing out. Let's re let's For those who call themselves Christians, sincerely, let's reclaim what that means by following the way of love with faith in God, being willing to come forth and serve, to help one another, to be the blessings. It's really that simple. All we got to do is convince ourselves, all right, I'm no longer to the old ways. I'm no longer loyal to the old ways. I'm no longer loyal to the belief I'm doing everything by myself. From now on, I'm loyal to the future and I'm loyal to serving God so that I receive the future God wants me to have.
Beautifully said, Brother Jack. I want to add one thing here, and I think it's important. It relates to this whole show, the theme and message. There's a part in the Bible that I remember studying, and it has to do with Thomas, one of Jesus' disciples. And when Jesus returned, he had the wound from where the spear went, and it was still there. And Thomas was doubting Thomas. That's where the term doubting Thomas comes from. And he didn't trust, he didn't quite have faith that that was Jesus, the real Jesus. And Jesus actually rewarded him for speaking up and saying, "Can you show me Christ? Can you show me God?" And he allowed him, the only disciple was allowed, was Thomas, to put his finger inside of the wound, the bloody wound, and to make sure that, yes, that's really him. That's really his Jesus. He's real. He's not a hallucination. He's not anything where the mind goes, to trust that is Jesus, the real Jesus. And that's the doubting Thomas story. And he was loved by Jesus, even though he had that doubt, he showed him, okay, I'm going to show you that I am real. I'm authentic. I'm not just saying that I'm Jesus, the Savior, the Son of God. He proved that he was back. It was really him, really him. And he really allowed him to do that. So some of these people might have doubt today, but let's not give up on them, because maybe tomorrow or the next day, the proof will come through God and they will say, now I get it. Now I understand.
It's all coming together.
Yes.
It is. This is where my faith is. I don't have to focus on what anyone else does. Everyone can have as many disagreements and doubts and opinions and whatever. I know my purpose. My purpose is to be me. And who I've become as me, this character of Jack Talcott, well, I've been blessed. I've realized my blessings, and now I hope to share these blessings that I've received with the world. I believe that, well, if God allows my prayers to be answered, history will reflect that God created me into an adequate communicator for the purposes of glorifying the name of Jesus in name of the Father. And the purpose is to bring peace to the world, to help everyone realize we, those who make the choice, who answer the call, we are the return of Christ, become a blessing.
Yes. When Jack said that he's been blessed by God, when Jack was blessed by God, God also blessed us all by blessing Jack and bringing this message to the world. So that's a blessing
Thank
to
you.
all of us as well. You're welcome. What are your thoughts on this, Bex? It's also nice to have some female energy too on the
It is.
panel
It
for a
really
change.
is.
It really is. I enjoy you being here, Sister Bex.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Stephen. I agree with what you said. You know, to bless one is to bless us all, especially when that one's blessing is to spread their message of their blessing. You know, it really is. It's a beautiful thing. You know, it's it's a gift to be somewhere where we can choose to be here. You know,
It's,
and on bad days choose not to be.
Yes,
yep.
I'm even going to forgive those mosquitoes from the other day. They bit me pretty badly, and I was complaining, but I'm going to try to forgive.
Hey,
They know not what they do.
tell you
That's
what,
true. Sorry.
forgiveness. No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but for forgiveness and confession, those both take practice. It takes practice to forgive. And what I found is, well, there's many ways to find forgiveness. It just starts with a willingness to want to feel better. Because when we don't forgive, we're punishing ourselves. And I don't think God likes seeing. Imagine a father seeing a child just continually self-sabotage, right? Wanting to do everything by themselves, hurting themselves along the way, and
Mhm.
causing memories
Yeah.
they won't forget and others won't forget.
I'm going to forgive those that harmed me in my life, in my childhood, when I was younger, my past. I'm going to forgive them. There were cousins. One time, a cousin was spraying a garden hose outdoors at a farmhouse in one of my female cousins' faces and making her cry at a reunion. And I stepped in and grabbed the hose away. I told him to stop it. You know, you're making her cry, and it wasn't fun anymore. I said it's not fun, and I grabbed it away and stopped him, and he punched me in the face twice. My cousin, Irish cousin, Fiery, hit me in the face, and I hit him right on the jaw, and I knocked him out. But I forgive him. He was knocked out for, I don't know, like minutes, and he got real angry when he got up. And I'm looking back at some of this stuff where I had to kick the shit out of some of my cousins, or, you know, we had fights sometimes, you know, growing up as boys and playing hockey, and cross-checked one in the teeth one time, and one, was hacking away playing hockey on the farm, and he was hacking away at my shins. And sometimes we'd be going into the farmhouse just like we were almost crippled, having to help each other in there. We played so rough. But I forgive them. I forgive all this stuff, is my point. I'm looking back on these days saying, it's all the past. It's all water under the bridge. Whatever happened in the past, if there was arguments or violence or bad things said, I forgive them. I forgive everybody.
You said this. Can you please? I'm sorry, but you're repeating yourself and you're just kind of rambling, Stephen. I don't know if you noticed the screen, but I've got a comment up and I've been wanting to come back to the comment that was referring to the topic I had been discussing.
I was just talking about forgiveness, but I'm sorry.
About memories. You were talking about memories, Stephen, and I understand.
I forgive them. I forgive whoever hurt me is what I meant. Sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
And please, I don't mean it to go unrecognized. I congratulate you sincerely.
And I forgive you. I forgive you for anything that you said before. You're forgiven.
Would you please become present and recognize that I'd like to get a few words in?
I'm sorry. Thank you,
Stephen. So, Emily, people who are not Christians, understand. My call to action is for those who want to wear the title of Christians. Let's start embodying the Spirit better. Let's stop enabling the politics, the economics, and the religions. Let's stop using those as excuses to divide us. And anyone who's not a Christian, here, consider this. Really, I don't care what anyone thinks. If they look at themselves, there is a God that controls them, that limits them. When I looked at myself, what truly controls me and limits me in what I do, it's my thoughts, it's my wisdom. That's why there's a lot of crime and such, because people haven't come to ideas of other ways. It's a lot of criminal activity because people make excuses. But the truth each of us know limits us. We behave based on what we've learned. Whether anyone recognizes it or not, truth is God. God is true. If you want to know God, well, that's a continuing lifelong search, because God is found in everything. Because everything that's true comes from God. Anything that is not true is not of God. So how many people are walking around with all these not true fantasies? Believing Joe Biden and Donald Trump are good options and believing that I'm a man who should be mocked and avoided. It's God is amazing, but we've got to change the world. And it starts
Emily
with
a Christian? Is she Christian?
I don't know, but I understand, if I'm going to speak to one, then that creates the image of an exclusion to others.
Can I just address something? I forgive, people were saying in the chat that they forgive me, and I don't want that to go unheard or unnoticed today. I'm in the present, and I forgive the people in the chat, the ones that said that they forgive me. Somebody saying they owe Stephen an apology. It's all forgiven, brother. Brothers and sisters in the chat room, everybody here, I'm saying right now, I forgive you, whether it's Jessica Jane, El Pero, everybody, DeFreak, anybody that, whoever's there, Tarek, Chuck, on and on. I forgive you. Okay, so OTW said he forgives me. I forgive you all for anything that has been said to me, whatever has happened. It's all forgiven, brothers and sisters. Thanks for your forgiveness towards me, and I'm extending my forgiveness back towards all of you. today, in the moment, this moment.
Can you maybe do those things? Well, no, I understand. I wanted things to be different than they were,
I just
but
didn't want to be rude, Jack, because they were saying that they forgive me, forgive Stephen. I didn't want
I,
to just
I
let
heard
it go.
that. I heard that. I'd like
I
to.
forgive you as well, Jack. And Rebecca. I forgive Bex for the things
Can you please
that we
yield,
had.
Stephen? What
Oh,
are
I'm
you
sorry.
doing, dude?
I didn't know that you wanted to say something. I'm sorry, Jack.
It's my panel. You don't think, I mean, you're considerate to those in the chat, but you don't want to be rude to them. But in the
I,
meantime, you're just, I guess this is your stream,
no,
Stephen, right?
I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm not trying to take over the show the way Tommy does, the way that he monologues here and yells at everybody and takes over for hours. I'm not doing that.
I realize that. You're doing it in your own way.
No,
But
I'm
it's
trying to be
still,
respectful.
I understand that.
I don't know where the anger
Part
is
of,
coming from.
can, maybe because if you don't understand because you haven't allowed me to speak. I've been trying to explain, but this is the pattern I've been experiencing here online. There's many people who are confused about me because when I try and say something, I tend to get interrupted and then argued at, and all sorts of rumors and lies have been spread about me. Part of my change in energy, Stephen, is we're at the 2 hour mark. I've mentioned my intentions to go to the city council to live in my life, my reality, to pursue the purpose I believe will help everyone. And I've got someone who's chosen to not be a friend to me, but because of gossip and enabling, has chosen to join the side of Margot Davy. Miss Noel is in the back. And like I said, we're about 2 hours in. I think rather than continue this, I should probably wrap it up. I'll do some final words and thank you all for joining. And I'll go see if I can get attention elsewhere.
Bless you and good luck to you tonight if you go to the council meeting, Jack. I support you. I pray for you, brother Jack. And my apologies. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No,
to
you're fine. You're
ramble on.
fine.
But thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And bless you. Love to you
Thank you.
all. Love to Jack. And thanks for also Bex. It was good to see you. It was good to have a conversation here as well. Sister
Nice to
Bex.
see you.
Sorry.
Nice to see you as well, Brother Stephen. It
Good to
really
see you,
was. I
Sister Bex.
appreciate you
Thank
encouraging
you.
me to join you guys today.
Thank you, Stephen.
And I wanted to say thank you, Jack, very much for having me up. I hope that I know sometimes, it's like maybe this sometimes the frustrations aired here online today will help you deal with maybe some of the frustrations you feel in the room if you go tonight. That it's I'm not trying to justify you.
No, you're
So I go
right.
ahead, please.
I just
But
don't
if
understand. Okay, please.
no, I'm sorry, you just don't understand. But what were you going to say?
My frustrations aren't just self-initiated.
No, I
They're the
understand that.
result of the experience that people are choosing to bring to me. I don't know how much more polite I can get. I don't know what I can say for anyone to take what I'm saying seriously about let's find a way to end wars. We don't need all the answers. We don't need everything figured out. All we need is maybe a little willingness to understand what the hell Jack's talking about, but in God's time it'll happen. So
Well, that sounds like a true statement of faith to me, Jack.
thank you, my hey, and
And
you know
I
what? Let me
appreciate
not let me offer, please. I don't want to offer sourness. I love you, my friend, and I love Stephen, and I love Noel. And I bet I could even find ways to easily love Margot. I love everybody. My only want is for someone to want me to succeed. And I think a lot of people do want me to succeed, but I don't know what's holding anyone back from asking me questions about what I want or what can be shared. I mean, even here, I'm going to complain a little bit besides the panel stuff. Anything else for you? Bex, thank you for joining. Sincerely.
Thank you for having me. And I think sometimes it's a reflection of their own lack of faith that they're willing to project onto you, Jack. So, stick with it. And thank you very much for having me and for having this platform to share with you. So I wish you all the best tonight and moving forward. And I look forward to the next time. Bye for now.
Thank you, Bex. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who joined. And Jim from Florida. Yes, I realize this. Please don't let my egoic descriptions, especially when I'm in a point of frustration, please don't let me exclude my gratitude. I know there's a lot of love. I know there's a lot of support. I know there's a lot of people who are praying for and wishing me the best. I know that. I feel that. What I don't understand is I know if someone wants to change their life and they allow me to work with them, their life will change in a day. I know if someone would be willing to work with me towards the goals that I'm seeking, I trust my life could probably change in a day. But until that time, I'm continuing to invite people to join me. I still, on various platforms, I get reached out. People want to tell me what they're available to do, these marketing gurus and willing to build me, followers and subscribers. Yet, since I don't have money at the moment, I just dealt with that this morning. This is why I am sharing it. Again, part of these streams is the Talcottian adventure. This is my real life. I'm not a character online. I am living my life as it is, and I'm documenting my story as we go. And, my purpose, I don't know how to be more clear. I know that wars can end. I know that new ways can be revealed for us to grow. I don't know what's holding. I don't know what more God wants me to do before it changes. But brothers and sisters, and there is a lot. I know that. I feel the love. I feel the team Talcott is there. It's growing, it's building. And let me not let my egoic, narrow-sighted, short-sighted see, let me not let the world blind me. Don't let the world blind you, please. Let's get to the topic, because I think right now, I don't know. It'll be close. I may head down there again. We'll see what happens today. But please find more loyalty towards creating a better future. Become less loyal to the old excuses, the old habits, the old patterns of the past. Let them go. Let's look to see what might be accomplished each day. Each day we get to live. It's a gift. It's a gift of life. It's a miracle. Witness the miracle. Participate in the miracles. Become the blessings by replacing your grievances, your disagreements, your complaints, your problems. Bring yourself salvation through love. Okay? Love is a miracle. Replace the miracles with love, or replace the grievances with love, and there is your miracle. Problems are solved. That's the way God works. Hey, brothers and sisters, I do once again thank you all sincerely, those who joined, tuned in, whatever time, whatever way. Please do your part. Until next time, invite others, share what's going on. Help to see what we can do together to unite, to end the wars, to bring a better world into the plans. I trust this is God's plan, so let's see what happens. Choose love. Till next time again. Peace for everyone, and live without fear. Thank you again, and God bless us all.